Marc Emile, a senior from Penn State, Wilkes-barre, and a national champion. How does that feel to say that?
Feels great.
Talk about what this season was like for you guys. Did you feel it earlier, or did this team kind of develop and things kind of went well at the end of the season?
Honestly, this team has been one of the more up and down teams I've been a part of. Honestly, I want to say from the beginning, we started off really hot. We had a lot of good wins, a lot of large leads. I believe at some point we were leading the nation in point separation from win-loss column, if that makes any sense. Then at some point we lost a few guys at the mid-season point due to grades, due to other things.
All those normal things that happen sometimes.
Exactly, to every team. Every team feels it at some point. And I feel like we started to cool off. We were barely scraping by wins to a couple teams that we had beaten pretty bad before. At some point, we took losses, heavy losses to teams that we had well beaten before, and we kind of like lost our groove a little bit. So it was kind of a learning process, and we had to find our niche again and understand that, like, let's get into that time of year where we can't afford to have little mistakes. Everybody has to be locked in. Everybody has to have the same goal in mind and stuff like that nature. So after that, then towards the end of the year, playoffs came and we got it rolling again. I feel like everybody understood the assignment. Everybody understood that we could be beat, and everybody knew that they had to bring their A game going forward. So we got some really good wins going into playoffs to build momentum. And towards that conference championship game where we took that loss to Greater Allegheny, I feel like everybody felt that pain that we didn't want to feel it again come the national tournament. I feel like that one really affected the team. Everybody understood and everybody kind of felt just defeated at that point. But again, we had to, strap our boots up and then prepare for the national tournament, get back to practicing and get back to the drawing board, and we did that. So yeah, it was a real up and down year, but we came out on top. So
let's talk about where you call home and how the game of basketball developed for you.
Okay, so I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but I was raised most of my years in West Hartford, Connecticut, living with my mother. Basketball was actually the last sport I picked up. I played football, I played baseball, I played soccer when I was well younger, and then basketball I picked up only because I missed football in the summer. I didn't know going into high school you had to already apply and already sign up for summer workouts for football, so I didn't know what I was going to do. So I decided to pick up basketball that summer, 8th grade going into 9th grade. I started taking it really serious. I wanted to make sure I made the team, stuff like that, and then kind of fell in love with it. Had a little bit of success and stuff, and I kind of just ran with it. Just never looked back, never played football again, never played anything again. It was straight basketball after that.
Let's talk about what Coach Hammett sells to you guys and what you're buying from him, because he's producing some really good teams and some good young men. You're leaving his program in a little better place, I would think, and going off into the world.
Honestly, I feel like what really got me is that he can relate to your background. He can relate to where you're coming from. He knows what it's like to be in your shoes. As him being a former player, he had the same goals that you had when he was coming up and stuff like that. He's completed those goals. So it's kind of like seeing somebody like that is like, if he can do it, then I can do it. And he can kind of like mature you and groom you and show you the way to get to where you're trying to go. So I feel like that's a real selling point. I feel like a lot of guys on teams here have history with other teams, have transferred from other schools where they weren't successful, where they had problems. Me especially, I was coming from a school where I had a lot of issues, and I wasn't the favorite, and I wasn't the greatest, and I didn't have the best history, and I wasn't the best player and stuff like that. So it's kind of like being taken in and being accepted from a place where you didn't feel accepted where you were last. I feel like he gets a lot of guys like that, and then we come together as a group of everybody having that understanding of what it feels like to kind of be an outcast and brought together at one place.
Senior, so you got some steps going forward. What are some of those goals or aspirations you have for life?
Honestly, for life, we are really just taking it one day at a time. Honestly, like, I've always had the dream of playing professional basketball. I've always wanted to. I did have a teacher one that did show me a career in being a referee. He was a Division I referee, and it was a great career because he was a teacher on the side, and he used to lead for different games and stuff, and he used to meet all these different high-profile players and stuff. And it really did, the way he explained to me, it felt like a dream. Like, he used to go to arena and stuff like that, and meet all these different people and different stars and people in the basketball world and stuff. So I've also highly considered that. I am graduating with my degree in corporate communication. I did get my associates in sports management, so I do want to stay around the sports world, around the game of basketball in some way, shape, or form, whatever that may be.
Well, it sounds like you got a good plan. You got some things, some irons in the fire, some goals, some things that you're looking forward to. Great to catch up with you, hear your story, and we wish you the best going forward.
Thank you. Appreciate it.